The Young and the Restless spoilers. 3 explosive family feuds tear mothers and daughters apart. Ashley clashes with Abby. Victoria risks losing Claire, and Phyllis's latest romance could push Summer beyond the point of forgiveness. The Young and the Restless spoilers suggest that 3 mother/daughter duos are about to face some very rough times. Can these loving family members put their relationships back together, or has irreversible damage been done? Can these mother/daughter pairs ever make amends? Which family members are about to have a major meltdown issue? Key takeaways. Ashley and Abby battle over Mariah. Victoria's romance shocks Claire. Phyllis risks losing Summer forever. Old family wounds resurface. 3 relationships reach a breaking point. Ashley Abbott and Abby Winters. It seems that according to spoilers, Ashley Abbott, Eileen Davidson, is about to choose Devin Winters, Brighton James, side in the argument over Mariah Copeland, Cameron Grimes. Devin is still furious over Mariah not going to prison after kidnapping Dominic Chancellor, Ethan Ray Clark. Abby Winters, Melissa Ordway, completely disagrees with them both. Ashley may want to push things and try to find a way to make Mariah spend time in prison. Unfortunately, Abby could very well remind her mother how much time she had spent in a mental health facility over things she has done. Will Abby argue that Ashley should sympathize with Mariah more than anyone? Will Ashley ever see Abby's side of this argument? Victoria Newman and Claire Newman. Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, has been growing closer to Kyle Abbott, Michael Mueller. Lately as Claire Newman, Haley Aaron, moves on with Holden Novak, Nathan Owens. Victoria and Claire just celebrated Cole Howard, J. Eddie Peck, on the anniversary of his death. However, Claire may not be so accepting of her mother hooking up with her ex. Claire and Kyle fought with Victor Newman, Eric Braden, for months to get his approval of their relationship. Claire will no doubt agree with Victor when it comes to a relationship between Victoria and Kyle. Will Claire cut ties with her mother over Kyle? Could jealousy come between Claire and Victoria as she wonders what may have happened if she and Kyle reunited? Phyllis Newman and Summer Newman. Let's be honest, Summer Newman, last played by Allison Lanier, has been upset with Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, for so long that she has probably forgotten the original argument. However, Phyllis's decision to get in a relationship with Matt Clark, Roger Howarth, is probably going to hit her worse than the whole Newman takeover mess. How could Phyllis be with someone who has done so much to hurt Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow? Phyllis used to love Nick, and Summer would expect that she would have some loyalty to him. Will Summer ever be able to forgive her mother for what she may consider to be the ultimate betrayal? Will Summer continue to keep her mother at arm's lengths, or will she return to Genoa City and end up in a full-fledged war over her mother's bad choices? Few television dramas capture emotional conflict quite like The Young and the Restless. For decades, the residents of Genoa City have navigated betrayal, heartbreak, and shocking revelations that transform even the closest family bonds into bitter rivalries. While romance often dominates the headlines, some of the show's most unforgettable moments emerge from the complicated relationships between mothers and daughters. Love, jealousy, ambition, and long-buried secrets collide, creating emotional battles that leave lasting scars. Imagine a week in Genoa City where 3 powerful family feuds erupt simultaneously, threatening to destroy generations of trust. The first confrontation begins with Victoria, a woman who has spent much of her life trying to earn her family's respect while proving she can stand on her own. When confidential business documents mysteriously leak to a rival company, suspicion falls on someone no one expected, her own daughter, Claire. Victoria refuses to believe Claire could betray her. She insists there must be another explanation, but the evidence continues to pile up. Financial records, security footage, and anonymous messages all point in Claire's direction. The accusations spread quickly through the Newman family, forcing Claire to defend herself against relatives who once welcomed her with open arms. Claire, devastated by the allegations, insists she is being framed. She pleads with her mother to trust her, reminding Victoria that family should stand together when everyone else turns away. Yet, Victoria finds herself caught between her instincts as a mother and her responsibilities as a business leader. Their emotional confrontation becomes one of the most painful scenes in recent memory. Claire accuses Victoria of choosing power over family, while Victoria counters that leadership demands difficult decisions. Neither woman walks away victorious. Instead, both leave wondering whether their relationship can survive such overwhelming doubt. Meanwhile, Nikki Newman finds herself facing an entirely different crisis. For years, Nikki has worked tirelessly to hold her family together despite countless scandals. She believes honesty eventually heals every wound. But when she discovers that a deeply personal secret from decades ago has resurfaced, everything changes. A mysterious letter arrives containing evidence that someone has manipulated events surrounding a tragedy the family believed was settled long ago. Nikki decides to keep the discovery hidden while she investigates quietly. Unfortunately, her daughter uncovers the deception before Nikki can explain herself. Feeling betrayed, her daughter lashes out, arguing that secrets are exactly what continue to poison the Newman family. She questions whether Nikki has ever truly trusted her enough to share the truth. Nikki, desperate to protect those she loves, argues that some secrets are carried out of love rather than dishonesty. She fears revealing everything could reopen emotional wounds that never fully healed. The disagreement quickly escalates into a heartbreaking family showdown. Old resentments rise to the surface as years of misunderstandings finally explode. Every sacrifice Nikki believed she made for her children is suddenly questioned. As emotions boil over, neither side realizes an outside manipulator has deliberately orchestrated the conflict. Hidden messages, carefully timed revelations, and anonymous leaks have all been designed to drive the family apart. Quickly escalates into a heartbreaking family showdown. Old resentments rise to the surface as years of misunderstandings finally explode. Every sacrifice Nikki believed she made for her children is suddenly questioned. As emotions boil over, neither side realizes an outside manipulator has deliberately orchestrated the conflict. Hidden messages, carefully timed revelations, and anonymous leaks have all been designed to drive the family apart from within. By the time the truth begins to emerge, the emotional damage may already be irreversible. Across town, another family faces its own painful reckoning. Phyllis Summers has never been afraid of conflict. Fiercely protective and endlessly determined, she has spent years fighting for the people she loves, even when they disagree with her methods. Her daughter, however, has grown tired of living in the shadow of her mother's larger-than-life personality. A career opportunity appears that could permanently change her future, but accepting it means leaving Genoa City behind. While she sees independence, Phyllis sees abandonment. Their conversations quickly deteriorate into heated arguments, filled with painful honesty. Her daughter insists she deserves the freedom to make her own choices without constant interference. She refuses to let guilt determine the course of her future. Phyllis counters that experience matters. She believes her warnings come from years of surviving heartbreak and betrayal, not from a desire to control anyone. Unfortunately, neither woman truly listens to the other. Friends attempt to mediate, encouraging compromise before permanent damage is done. Yet every attempt only uncovers deeper frustrations that have remained hidden for years. Then comes the shocking twist. Evidence surfaces, suggesting the attractive new career offer may actually be part of a larger scheme orchestrated by a powerful corporate rival seeking revenge against Phyllis. What appeared to be a dream opportunity may instead be an elaborate trap designed to separate mother and daughter before striking at the family when they are most vulnerable. Faced with undeniable proof, the daughter must decide whether to believe the mother she has spent weeks arguing with, or risk losing everything. As these three family feuds unfold, Genoa City becomes consumed by uncertainty. Long-standing alliances begin to crumble. Friends are forced to choose sides. Family dinners become battlefields where every conversation carries emotional landmines waiting to explode. Even outsiders feel the ripple effects. Business partnerships collapse under growing distrust. Romantic relationships suffer as stress and suspicion spread beyond immediate family members. Every revelation creates new questions while answering almost none of the old ones. Yet beneath all the anger lies a common truth. Every mother involved believes she is protecting her child. Every daughter believes she is fighting for her independence. Neither side intends to destroy the relationship they treasure most. Instead, fear, misunderstanding, and pride gradually transform love into conflict. That emotional complexity has always been one of the young and the restless greatest strengths. Villains and heroes rarely remain fixed for long. Every character carries understandable motivations, making even the fiercest confrontations feel deeply human. As the dust begins to settle, unexpected allies emerge. Individuals once considered enemies offer compassion where family members cannot. Hidden truths finally come to light, exposing the real architect behind several of the conflicts. Some relationships begin the slow journey toward healing. Others may never fully recover. Forgiveness proves far more difficult than exposing deception, and rebuilding trust requires patience that not everyone possesses. Still, hope remains alive in Genoa City. The strongest families are not those that avoid conflict altogether, but those willing to confront painful truths with honesty and courage. Whether Victoria and Claire can rebuild their shattered trust, whether Nikki's family can overcome years of hidden secrets, and whether Phyllis and her daughter can find common ground after their emotional battle remains uncertain. One thing, however, is guaranteed. In a town where every secret eventually comes to light, today's family feud often becomes tomorrow's opportunity for redemption. And in the young and the restless, the deepest wounds frequently lead to the most unforgettable stories, proving that even when mothers and daughters are torn apart by betrayal, the possibility of reconciliation is never completely out of reach.